Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jayam Vishnupada Mahamsa Parivajapacharya Ashtatashata Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajapacharya Ashtatashata Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Ganga Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai Nugovardhan Dham Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creations, Chapter 22, Bali Mahārāja surrenders his life. And we will read the chapter summary and then verses 1 and 2. I'll read 1 and then we could read 2 together. Bali Mahārāja surrenders his life. The summary of this 22nd chapter is as follows. The Supreme Personality of Godhead was pleased by the behavior of Bali Mahārāja. Thus the Lord placed him on the planet Sutala, and there, after bestowing benedictions upon him, the Lord agreed to become his doorman. Bali Mahārāja was extremely truthful. Being unable to keep his promise, he was very much afraid, for he knew that one who has deviated from truthfulness is insignificant in the eyes of society. An exalted person can suffer the consequences of hellish life, but he is very much afraid of being defamed for deviation from the truth. Bali Mahārāja agreed with great pleasure to accept the punishment awarded him by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bali Mahārāja's dynasty, there were many asuras who, because of their enmity toward Vishnu, had achieved a destination more exalted than that of many mystic yogis. Bali Mahārāja specifically remembered the determination of Prahlad Mahārāja in devotional service. Considering all these points, he decided to give his head in charity as the place for Vishnu's third step, Bali Mahārāja also considered how great personalities give up their family relationships and material possessions to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indeed, they sometimes even sacrifice their lives for the satisfaction of the Lord, just to become His personal servants. Accordingly, by following in the footsteps of previous acharyas and devotees, Bali Mahārāja perceived himself successful. While Bali Mahārāja, having been arrested by the ropes of Varuna, was offering prayers to the Lord, his grandfather Prahlāda Mahārāja appeared there and described how the Supreme Personality of Godhead had delivered Bali Mahārāja by taking his possessions in a tricky way. While Prahlāda Mahārāja was present, Lord Brahman, Bali's wife, Vindhyavali, described the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. Since Bali Mahārāja had given everything to the Lord, they prayed for his release. The Lord then described how a non-devotee's possession of wealth is a danger, whereas a devotee's opulence is a benediction from the Lord. Then, being pleased with Bali Mahārāja, the Supreme Lord offered his disc to protect Bali Mahārāja and promised to remain with him. Okay, so Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I'll just read the first one myself. Shishaka Uvacha Evam Viprakrito Rajan Balir Bhagavata Suraha Vidyamano Yabinatma Patyaha Viklavam Vachaha. Shukadeva Goswami said, O king, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead was superficially seen to have acted mischievously toward Bali Mahārāja, Bali Mahārāja was fixed in his determination, considering himself not to have fulfilled his promise. He spoke as follows. So please repeat after me. Shri Balir Uvacha Yadi Uttama Shloka Bhavan Mameritam Vacho Vyalikam Suravarya Manyate Karomi Vitam Tan Na Bhavet Pralambanam Padam Tritiyam Kuru Shirshni Me Nijam Shri Balir Vacha Yad Uttama Shloka Bhavan Mameritam Vachovali Kam Suravarya Manyate Karam Niritam Tanna Bhavet Pralambanam Padam Tatiyam Kudushirshni Merid Nijam Shri Balir Uvacha Yad Uttama Shloka Bhavan Mameritam Vachovali Kam Suravarya Manyate Karam Yuritam Tanna Bhavet Pralambanam Param Tatiyam Kudushirshni Me Nijam Shri Balir Uvacha Yaduttama Shloka Bhavan Mameritam Vachovali Kam Suravarya Manyate Karam Yuritam Tanna Bhavet Pralambanam Padam Tatiyam Kudushirshni Me Nijam. Can you give Srila Prabhu a mic and then put one mic there? And then can you bring the Achman cup? And can you bring a Bhagavad Gita? Can you chant Hare Krishna? Thank you. Thank you. Would you like to chat? Okay. Any online reciters?
Shri Bali Ruvacha Yagyuttamashloka Bhavan Mameritam Vacho Vyalikam Suravarya Manyate Karomirtam Tan Nabhavet Pralambanam Padam Trityam Kuru Shirshni Me Nicham.
Shri Bali Uvacha Yadyuttamashloka Bhavan Mameritam Vacho Valikam Suravarya Manyate Kadomyaritam Tanabhavet Pralambanam Padam Tritiyam Kuru Shrishni Me Nijam.
Word by word, please repeat. Shri Bali Uvacha. Bali Mahārāja said, Yadi, if, Uttamashloka, O Supreme Lord, Bhavan, your good self, Mama, my, Yuritam, promised. Vachaha, words. Vyalikam, false. Surya Varya, O greatest of all suras, demigods. Manite, you think so. Karami, I shall make it. Ritam, truth. Tat, that. Promise. Na, not. Bhavet, will become. Pralambanam, cheating. Padam, step. Tiyam, the third. Kuru, just do it. Shirshni, on the head. Me, my. Nijam, your lotus feet. Translation. Bali Mahārāja said, O best personality of Godhead, most worshipable for all the demigods, if you think that my promise has become false, I shall certainly rectify matters to make it truthful. I cannot allow my promise to be false. Please, therefore, place your third lotus footstep on my head. Purport. Bali Mahārāja could understand the pretense of Lord Vamanadev, who had taken the side of the demigods and come before him as a beggar. Although the Lord's purpose was to cheat him, Bali Mahārāja took pleasure in understanding how the Lord will cheat his devotee to glorify the devotee's position. It is said that God is good, and this is a fact. Whether he cheats or rewards, he is always good. Bali Mahārāja therefore addressed him as Uttama Shloka. Your Lordship, he said, you are always praised with the best of selected verses. On behalf of the demigods, you disguised yourself to cheat me, saying that you wanted only 3 paces of land, but later you expanded your body to such an extent that with 2 footsteps you covered the entire universe. Because you are working on behalf of your devotees, you do not regard this as cheating. Never mind. I cannot be considered a devotee. Nonetheless, because although you are the husband of the goddess of fortune, you have come to me to beg, I must satisfy you to the best of my ability. So please do not think that I wanted to cheat you. I must fulfill my promise. I still have one possession, my body. You have taken my wealth, but still I have my body. When I place my body for your satisfaction, please put your third step on my head. Since the Lord had covered the entire universe with 2 steps, one might ask how Bali Mahārāja's head could be sufficient for his third step. Bali Mahārāja, however, thought that the possessor of wealth must be greater than the possession. Therefore, although the Lord had taken all his possessions, the head of Bali Mahārāja, the possessor, would provide an adequate place for the Lord's third step. Oh my God, Idabarandasya Gananjana Shwaka Chakshulan Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Makam Kritavachalam Pangam Langa Tekadem Yakripatam Maham Vande Shri Gunun Dinatadanam Bancha Kopadribishcha Kripa Sundabhevacha Patitanam Pavane Bhyo Vaishnave Bhyo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Translation once again. Bali Mahārāja said, O best personality of Godhead, most worshipable for all the demigods, if you think my promise has become false, I shall certainly rectify matters to make it truthful. I cannot allow my promise to be false. Please therefore place your third lotus footstep on my head. There's many principles of Krishna consciousness, or if you want to say principles of surrender in Krishna consciousness that can be faked or done in a superficial way. One could easily put on a show and not really be doing things sincerely, and maybe some people won't notice. But there's one person that always notices, and that's Krishna. Krishna's in our heart, and he's very closely there, so he very clearly understands the situation. So we may be able to fool some people, but we can't fool Krishna. We can't cheat Krishna. Which, yeah, you could say puts a lot of pressure on us. Because in this world, we could actually cheat or deceive or put on a show, that's the whole modern material society. They just put on a big show. Everything's a show, really. And yeah, people could put on a show and have so many people believe them, be convinced that they're authentic, whatever they may be trying to be authentic in. Of course, people who have some knowledge, people who have some perception, people who have some Krishna consciousness can also see. It's not that just Krishna could see. That's not our philosophy, but those who have some advancement in Krishna consciousness, and depending on their level of advancement of Krishna consciousness, they could very easily see people's what they're doing, what their consciousness is, how they're doing things, how Krishna conscious they are, in many ways. Just like someone who's not very Krishna conscious or not very educated in Krishna consciousness may be fooled by some kirtan leaders, but those who are educated and those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness will know that these people are not properly leading kirtan, means an authentic way. We'll very easily understand that. A very crude example of this is devotees recently told me in Tucson, there's a very famous kirtan group there. I forgot what the name is, but I think something like Infinite Compassion. I don't know if I mentioned this here before. I don't think so, but it's kind of Infinite Compassion. That's the kirtan group. Hey guys, no, they're not listening. That's okay. They wouldn't listen to such class. Infinite, they have better things to do, but infinite, better things. Infinite Compassion, that was something like that, name of their group. So the devotees were telling me that they went to a festival and they saw this kirtan group there, and they were leading kirtan. They had some fancy instruments and singing well and so on, which is valuable in the kirtan world if someone could sing well and play instruments well and keep time and everything. That's very important. Of course, the most important thing is if someone's Krishna conscious, but these things also help in outreach. So they were there leading kirtan, and then Hare Krishna kirtan, and then right in the middle of their kirtan, they start playing a Nirvana song. Those of you who know Nirvana, if you don't, that's okay, no problem. It's all right if you don't know Nirvana. It's not going to hamper you attaining the goal of life. But it's a band in the 90s, I think, American band. And the lyrics of the song were something like, "Fish have no soul, therefore we can eat them." Something like that. And it was like right in the middle of the kirtan. It was just like they start singing that. I mean, you could argue maybe they could have sung something else, like maybe some other rock song or something. And I thought it was quite telling because their name is Infinite Compassion Kirtan group, which, I mean, you're not being compassionate to the fish, you know, the poor fish. Which I would think of, anyway, So someone who has knowledge, even a little knowledge of Krishna consciousness, they can understand like, oh, this is like bizarre, this is strange, this doesn't make any sense. And that's a very crude example. Things could get very subtle. That's very easy to see. But so, yeah, we cannot really cheat Krishna, and we cannot really cheat the spiritual master, and we can't really cheat advanced devotees. It doesn't work. So we have the principle of kirtan, but there's so many things that can be faked. Now when we talk about faking things, it is very difficult to fake what Bali Mahārāja did. I mean, practically it's impossible. He was in charge of the whole universe, and he just surrendered it all. I mean, how are you supposed to fake that? Can't fake that. You can fake other things. And then he just surrendered his material self, means his body. He said, "You've taken everything, so just, you know, now I'm your fully surrendered servant." So that is, you can't fake that. So when we talk about surrender, we could say it's the essence of Krishna consciousness is to surrender to chanting. We have to surrender. There's a whole science behind that. Surrender to reading Srila Prabhupada's books. There's a science. We have to surrender. Surrender to our service, surrender to worshiping the deities, surrender to the principle of sadhu sangha. I will take what the devotees say seriously. So practically, when we bow down, when we offer obeisances to the deities, to Srila Prabhupada, we're surrendering. It's an internal thing. Now, of course, those things can be done in different degrees of surrender. And sometimes those things can be done with practically no surrender. It's amazing, actually. All of those things, they're the same exact things that a pure devotee does, completely surrendered. And the same exact things can be done with practically no surrender, or completely wrong motives. It's amazing. So really, it's an internal thing. An internal surrender that goes on. So it's difficult to fake that. Although it may be easy to fake other things externally. So when we talk about surrender in the Hari Bhakti Vilas, there's what is it, 6? Does anyone remember? There's 6 items of surrender. Does someone want to give 1 or 2, and then we could see if others want to give some?
I'll give 1 and 2.
Okay.
Anukulyasya sankalpa.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes this, by the way, and Prabhupada quotes it in the Gita.
Oh yeah. Anukulyasya sankalpa, partikulyasya bharjanam. Accepting things favorable for devotional service and rejecting things unfavorable.
Yes. So does anyone remember any other? So that's 2. Does anyone remember the other? Yes. Keshava. Priya.
Yeah, Atma Nikhepa, like you throw in front of the deities. That's the last one, I think.
Like full surrender, like fully giving oneself. Okay, so we need 3 more. Does anyone remember? That's a principle, but in this particular one, it's not specifically stated. In this, Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes it, Hari Bhakti Vilas. Okay, you have another one?
Rakhyasya Vishwasa. And then sixth one
You want to translate that? Or you?
Krishna will definitely protect me.
Yes.
The sixth one Goprute Charanasrita, that one.
Goptvidve Vadanantata.
I think I don't remember.
Conviction that Krishna will maintain,
Yes.
protect, and then maintain.
So Krishna will protect us and maintain us. We only accept Krishna as our protector, maintainer. Okay, you want to list off the 6 now, Javita Prabhu? So we have them one after the other.
To always accept those things favorable for devotional service, reject those things unfavorable, to have full conviction that Krishna will always protect one, and full conviction that Krishna will maintain,
Yes.
and to always to surrender everything and always remain meek and humble. I forget the list.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to accept things that are favorable to Krishna consciousness, there's many things that are favorable. And to reject things that are unfavorable, there's many things that are unfavorable. So we have to know what is favorable and what is unfavorable to our Krishna consciousness. That's a principle of surrender. So we can test ourselves. How much am I accepting things that are favorable, and how much am I rejecting things that are unfavorable? We could test ourselves. Do we have full conviction that Krishna will protect us? That's another thing. We should have full conviction. That's a part of surrender. Krishna will protect us, and Krishna will maintain us. So devotees shouldn't be too worried about how they will be maintained specifically, or too absorbed in making their own arrangements. Of course, some arrangements have to be made, but Krishna will protect us, Krishna will maintain us, and one is, the last two? Yeah, full self-surrender, and to always remain meek and humble. So these are the six principles of surrender. So we can look at these principles, and for every positive there's a negative. So we want to avoid the negative, opposite of these. I am my own protector, I am my own maintainer. What's the use of accepting something that's favorable or rejecting something that's unfavorable? I'll accept whatever's favorable for my own material purposes. Why follow Krishna's instructions? Why do I need to be meek and humble? I'll just be proud, and that's how you make it in the world these days anyways. And why should I surrender to Krishna? So those are the negatives, so we want to do the positives. And Bali Mahārāja is the perfect example of surrender. He surrendered everything, and then full surrender of, fully surrendered devotee. And Krishna, he blessed him for that, or Vamanadeva blessed him for that, gave him all material opulence, although he didn't want it. And he used that. Generally, the idea is that although they don't want it, they use it in Krishna's service, and they teach people as an example. And then later they just reject it all. That is their glory, that they don't want it in the first place, that they use it properly, secondly, and then thirdly, they just, at the end of their life, they just give it all up. So it's quite amazing, actually. So he was blessed materially, but most importantly, he was blessed by Vamanadev and always having his association as his transcendental doorman. All right, did anybody have any question? Yes, Pest.
You're talking about how surrender can't be faked as well, like some things, some access can be faked, but you were talking about how Bali Mahārāja was giving up so much stuff and that couldn't be faked. And I was thinking about, like, there could be a circumstance where we like give a certain amount of money to Krishna consciousness or whatever, and it's like a lot of money, and it's like enough that we feel it. And it's kind of like we do it knowing that it's a good idea, but at the same time you're thinking, oh gosh, like, there's a lot of money. Like, it kind of feels, it kind of, and like, you're kind of like worried about, like, you do it. So like, you actually go through it. And like, in that respect, it's not faked because like, you don't have the money, you're not getting it back.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it just kind of seems like that's not the same as Bali Mahārāja just kind of like giving everything. Because it never says that he was worried about what would happen to him. He's just like giving it away. So I was wondering, like, in that instance, is that like, does that not count as surrender, or is it surrender but not as much surrender, or like faked or not sincere, or?
Well, I mean, it may be sincere that a person's sincerely giving a donation, but then if they're thinking later that, oh well, that was a lot, and I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have given it at all, or maybe I should have given less. So that happens sometimes, but the money's already in the hundi or whatever, so can't fish it back out. So a person, I mean, you could try, or a person could try, but Yamunapati's rigged it because we've had people do that in the past, so can't do it anymore. So, but Krishna, he gives us the benefit, even if we may be second thinking it later. He still gives us the benefit. Krishna, he sees the good, just like Putana pastime. Krishna just sees the good. So he magnifies that, whatever good we do. And whatever bad we do, he tries to, say, overlook it, or it's not such a big deal, actually. But one devotee, he was saying how sometimes we surrender, but we take it back. So really, when we talk about surrendering, it's a daily thing. We have to surrender daily, moment to moment. Any other question, comment?
Question.
Okay, Dravida Prabhu, and then Govardhan Das.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Suppose you find some money on the ground and you're walking. And it can be a lot of money. It could be a quarter, it could be $1, whatever. And you put it in the hundi. Now, that the person who lost it, does he get credit for that? Is there some? I mean, it's like a gyata sukriti, isn't it?
Well, I'm sure devotees will say yes. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
good, because I found a quarter on my walk, so I'm putting it in here.
all right, there you go.
Somebody-
Unknown. Hopefully, guy gets a book somehow. Yes.
He may show up at the lounge.
Yeah.
She may show up.
Yes. I think you have to turn it on. So.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Can you hear? So as we are discussing about this process of surrender, like Prabhu said, that is moment to moment. But in the material world, how about the concept of yukta vairagya, like gradually surrendering, using everything, gradually doing from 0.1% to going to 100%?
Yes. Well, Yukta Vairagya, the principle of taking material things that are generally not used in Krishna service and using them in Krishna service, is a mystical science. It's a very deep thing. It's not like a cheap thing, actually. And therefore we need guidance. How to, from the devotees, how to engage things properly. So yeah, it's there though. We could engage everything in Krishna service. Srila Prabhupada said airplanes, microphones, missiles. Prabhupada said missiles also, so we could engage everything. He said that in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. We're not exactly sure how, but anyways. Yes, Govardhan?
Hare Krishna. You sparked an interest, so I wanted to see the lyrics for this Nirvana song. And it says, the lyrics is as follows. Huh? Save it for Kirtan. It says, it's okay to eat fish because I don't have any feelings.
Yes, that's what it is. Please forgive me, I misquoted Shastra. Because I thought it said it didn't have soul, but it doesn't have feelings. That's the proper. So next time I bring it up. Thank you. All right, any online? Yeah, in their last life, they're probably Sahajiyas in Bengal, and they took birth in Tucson.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to say that the Infinite Compassion Orchestra.
Oops, I forgot you're from Tucson.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I know about this.
Yeah.
But so they call themselves an orchestra. So, they want to sound really fancy. Infinite Compassion Orchestra.
I see. Infinite Compassion Orchestra, yes. And they play all types of kind of different instruments, right?
Yeah, they have a lot of members of so there's like a violinist and all sorts of, like a cello and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard that they played that Nirvana song, though. That's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, Kirtaneshwar and others told me that. Yeah. So. But devotees can compete, such groups, if you want to say, learn Mridanga. And Matthias was around somewhere. Maybe he's in the kitchen. But he's learning Mridanga. Jalatila's learning. I heard last night it sounded nice, the Mridanga, the Krishna Lounge, Chula Vista. So plenty of instruments to learn. Very helpful. Okay, thank you. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada.